Hey everyone, Cell here with the Phrecia event coming out about 5 hours from now, 6. I wanted to make at least a quick video describing my plans before we get into it, just for my own sake, kind of, to finalize things and have it documented as we go forward. And yeah, my build of choice is going to be very boring. I have, over the last couple of leagues, decided, or realized rather, that I'm kind of the type of player that enjoys playing the same thing league to league, and at the moment that is slams. Slams are just incredibly powerful in solo self-found, especially in Keepers League, for a reason I'll get into in a moment. And I'm really more of a power gamer than a novelty gamer, I've realized. And so being able to leverage the most powerful thing I can is more interesting to me than doing something novel or unique, especially because with the coming event, I didn't really play the last Phrecia event all that much. I think partially because of the build I played. So I want to dig into it a little more, and it is pretty short, so I want to make sure I can blast as quick as possible on a build I'm familiar with. If you are looking for something more off meta or unique, there are quite a few builds out there that I've seen, and I posted one myself earlier today. That would be the Toxic Rain Bog Shaman. And yeah, like I said in that video, I had fun with that one last event. And if you're looking for something different, go for that. All sorts of scavenger builds out there as well that can do some pretty fun stuff. The Poisonous Concoction build from Anime Princess looks good. I was tempted by that as well. However, I have realized I hate Poisonous Concoction of Bouncing after playing it like 4 times. Every time I tell myself maybe I'll like it this time, and I never do. So we're back at slams, and as expected, Ancestral Commander did get nerfed, which is unfortunate, but mostly only for the leveling side of things. Essentially, this node here, which gives faster war cries but less recovery rate, used to be flipped, used to be 30% reduced speed, 100% or 120% recovery speed. And that would have been much preferable to anything we have going on right now, because that would have been our first labyrinth. We would have had our auto exertions going pretty smoothly and go from there. Unfortunately, that means we aren't going to have as high uptime on our slams during the campaign as one would hope, especially because Berserker, you're losing the doubled Warcry exertions as well. So we're going to have a max of 2 on our Intimidating Cry from Measured Fury plus the base, or is it? I think the default is 2, so it'll be 3. So that's a little unfortunate, but again, kind of a temporary thing, because one of the reasons slams are so strong in keepers is because of Ulnatal's Kiss, especially in solo self-found. This weapon's going to be very easy to get. Um, Throw all of your ancient womb gifts into this, or acquiring this. You want a Foulborn one, specifically with increased Warcry cooldown recovery rate. If you get one with Warcries exert an additional attack, you can actually potentially drop this cluster, although you're going to have an issue with Warcries having power, so depending on your progression and your choices later on, you might not want to do that. You'll just take the extra. But I'll probably only aim for a single Foulborn and not a double, because the vulnerability on hit is nice. It is a level 1 vulnerability, so only 15% increased physical damage taken. This goes up to 30% a higher level, so some potential damage to be gained there if you can meet the intelligence requirement. I don't actually recall what that is at the moment. 68, so that's not too bad, actually. If it was any higher, that'd be a little more troublesome. So maybe I will go for a double Foulborn. But you can see I only have 34 intelligence on this build, and that was for my Frostblink. It's a little higher level, but yeah, even the lower levels require basically one int stat somewhere on your build. Anyways, yeah, so the plan is to level as normal slams, except doing less damage, I guess, because you're going to be war crying less. Um, Probably take Born Under Fire first, just for the fizz mitigation, and then Toughened Skin. Like, really, none of these kind of matter all that much, but you won't be getting endurance charges early on anyways. So I'm just going to save that for Merciless Labyrinth. Pick up Ancestral Defiance as my Uber Lab. The Ascendancy is purely defensive, so nothing's really going to help out your damage, unfortunately. I'm hoping now with the extra familiarity from the tree that we can get some decent weapons before the end of the campaign to kind of help with the damage loss from not being a berserker. However, you don't really take the main damaging elements of berserker until later. It's largely like speed and utility. The Warcry doubling or double exertions is the one you take first, and that does help smooth things out a lot. So it will be unfortunate to lose that. Maybe I'll try to pick up some extra recovery speed somewhere, wherever that is. That's up here, isn't it? So maybe I will dip up here temporarily if I take out this jewel. There's some recovery rate up here that I could potentially pick up just to help smooth out that process. But yeah, the Ascendancy order kind of doesn't really matter, but I'm going to take Fist to Fire conversion, Toughened Skin for action and movement speed, fixed values there, or rather, reduction avoidance. Movement speed is kind of meh, because you'll have movement speed above your base value, but the action speed base value is very nice. And then obviously I'll pick up these later on for more defensive things. And swinging back to the axe, essentially I'm going to, again, dump all of my Ancient Womb gifts into chasing this axe, and specifically the Warcry cooldown recovery rate Foulborn modifier, basically as soon as I can. Like level 64, or once I start getting level 64 Womb gifts, they're all going into it. I'm trying to get this as fast as possible because this is my endgame weapon. I'll use this as soon as I get it until I stop playing the event. Unless I get a better one, in which case I'll use that one. And I may chase like a Corruption or something just for fun. A double corrupted one. But yeah, the obvious downside here is the attack speed is abysmal. And that is going to be the biggest thing we're losing from Berserker. And the reason for that is Berserker gets 1% increased attack speed per rage. I can switch back here. And another 50% increased rage effect. So you're looking at like 70-something percent increased attack speed from Berserker, which I'm now going to lose by going Ancestral Commander, of course. So that's going to need to be made up for elsewhere. You can see my attack right here, 2.14. That's without frenzy charges, 2.26 with. If I switch back to my other tree, 1.74. It's like 2/3 the speed, which is not going to feel good in the slightest. And that is even after making an adjustment out of melee physical damage into Fist of War. So if I didn't have that, I'd be at 1.58, which is just, again, even more abysmal. So yeah, I'm hoping to incorporate like more attack speed here even. I don't know, I'll try to find somewhere I might end up making trying to make a 12 passive cluster with 4% attack speed per node. I am going to be able to afford to drop some of these life nodes, for example. You can see my max hits over here, 16k fizz, 43k cold. Even though I did something like drop this to get 4 extra points that I can put into a higher passive cluster, I'm sitting at 16k fizz, a little over 41k cold as my lowest resistance down here, versus 12 and 33 on the Berserker. So again, like, I'm going to be able to drop some defenses and still have a similar degree of defense and sustainability while also picking up more damage and speed elsewhere. It's just a pretty flexible build all around. Yeah, so I guess that's pretty much it. Just to give myself a goal, I've said I'm going to try to focus in a little bit on Harvest this league. I kind of want to get a lot of Harvest use to potentially make some uh, synthesized items. Like I might do like a maths synthesis in standard, chasing a power charge or charge stacking in general type of ring, because that just, I don't know, sounds fun to make, I guess, as a longer term project. So yeah, I'm going to try to go into some harvest, and maybe that'll help me with cluster jewel crafting as well. I am a little bit concerned about getting a medium cluster for lead by example and call to arms. Is that what it's called? No, that's the keystone, isn't it? Yeah, there's another one that gives you charges based on Warcry power, and with Ulnatal's Kiss, that is full charges all the time, essentially. So I'll be aiming for that one as well. If I can get both of them on one cluster, that'd be great. Otherwise, 100% okay with just taking two different clusters here, and that'll have to be something I figure out how to work in the points for. But yeah, so those are the plans for the time being. We'll see how I get up to the harvest stuff or where the idle RNG ends up taking me, and I'll post some videos about it at some point, I hope. As long as I don't get too lazy, I guess. And I hope to be sharing my progress within, well, maybe later today, maybe tomorrow. Thanks for watching, and good luck in the league. Peace.